It's Gina. I was just putting the finishing touches on what I want to talk about today, so I had to race and get here. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late, 4 minutes late getting to you guys, but I have just really exciting things to talk about. As always, I have just fresh inspiration for you guys and taking care of your skin and being beautiful. Uh-oh. Sorry, I had turned off my computer. We were getting an echo there. So I use my computer to see you guys' messages when you message me, and then I use my phone to do my recording because it's just so easy to do that way. So today we're talking about dry skin, right? We're talking about dry versus dehydrated. First of all, how do you know which you have going on? And then how do you take care of that, and how do you protect your skin and keep it in its optimal best throughout those winter months, because it gets very dry, and some of you are in the Midwest or East Coast and it gets really dry there and your skin can really suffer. So I'm going to talk about how I keep the skin really moist and healthy. So there's a couple things that go on. First, you have those really dry climates, right? And then if you guys are following me and you're one of my clients, you know that in the winter months, I'm telling you to get your retinol on. I work with the skin seasonally. So at different times of the year, I'm offering different nutrients and different things to the skin. And in the winter months, when we're not in the sun so much, that is when I'm doing all the retexturizing of the skin. And for those who can tolerate it, we're using retinol. Or if you don't tolerate it, then we're using some retinol alternatives that I use with my clients. But the winter months are all about retexturizing the skin, getting rid of some of that old damaged skin cells that we've collected throughout the year, especially in the summer months. And then really smoothing and refining and firming that skin. And when we're doing that retexturizing, the skin can get dry. So not only do we have to worry about environmental factors drying the skin, but we've also got to work with Gina and her retinol that she's giving us. So I'm going to give you some tips on also using retinol through the winter months and how to ease that and really keep your skin moist then as well. So let me get right here to it. Get to the top of my notes. And one of the first things that I want to talk about are some common misconceptions. Many times people think that if their skin is dry or it's in the drier time of the year, they need heavier. Put on heavier moisturizers. They're using moisturizers that have more plant waxes in them, more oils in them that are leaving a heavier film or cushion on the skin. While some skins can handle that, my experience is that most of the time when you start putting on one of those heavier kind of creams, they are going to occlude the skin. So when you occlude the skin cannot breathe. That means that your pores are going to start getting droopy. So how many of you have gone out, bought this nice heavy cream? A few names come to my mind, but I don't want to bash names. So you go out and you buy this real heavy cream, and because you're feeling really dry, you put it on, and at first you're like, oh, this feels so good. And then about 2 weeks later, you're noticing, oh, my skin, my pores are kind of droopy and my skin looks kind of dull. And you may even start to notice little tiny red capillaries showing up close to the surface. That is because we're occluding the skin and then the skin can't breathe. So whenever I'm working with the skin, I'm going to be coaching you to use lighter products but more layers, so that we are still allowing our skin to breathe. We still have that good respiration going, but we are staying more moist. So right off the bat, I just want to caution against going to those heavy creams. So let's talk about some other alternatives to that, okay? First of all, I have many clients when they first start with me tell me if they were dry, they don't use cleansers because they feel like cleansers dry them out. And I have to tell you that yes, some cleansers, if they have a lot of exfoliating acids in them or they're just too harsh, a lot of harsh surfactants, yes, they can strip the oil from the skin and they can dry you out. But it is very, very important to find a gentle cleanser that's right for your skin, and use that twice a day, because our skin is made up of 57% to 87% water, depending on your age. When you're a baby, right? Babies have all that plump, juicy skin. They probably have more than 87% water. So we need to be putting water back in the skin. So my number one step in keeping the skin in the right hydration balance is to actually cleanse the skin twice per day. You want to use a nice natural cleanser with natural surfactants, because you want to break that surface tension so that the water can actually get in and rehydrate the skin. If you wake up in the morning and you don't cleanse, you just started putting on oils or moisturizers, whatever, or even serums and then moisturizers, but you haven't washed your face, some things are happening. Number one is your skin's dehydrated and you have not put water back in your skin. Number two is those serums that you're putting on can't penetrate because they can't get through that barrier, that hardened barrier on the skin. You need to use a cleanser to break that surface tension, get that water moving through there, and then guess what? Your skin is gonna drink up those serums and you're gonna get better action and better results from your serums. So first off, just want to throw that pitch out there that you got to be washing your face twice a day. Now, down in the notes below, I'll mention a few cleansers that I feel that are nice for winter months, but that can really vary depending on how much oil production you have. So one cleanser that works really well for somebody who's oil dry is not going to work as well for somebody who has a lot of oil in their skin. So it's hard for me to just say use this cleanser or that cleanser. I have to individualize that to you guys' skin type. So you can always reach out to us on live chat or go and do a consultation for winter on Artist Skincare. You can do a customized protocol. They're very inexpensive, or you can do the healthy aging protocol and work with me, and I can help you find just the right thing. So that's enough of that. I don't want to plug that too much here. I want to give you good information that you can use at home, even if you don't have the help of an esthetician. So knowing that the skin is 57% to 87% water, you've got to consider putting serums on your face that actually attract water and moisture into the skin. So when you're looking to do that, look for serums that contain vitamin C. Vitamin C attracts water in, especially magnesium ascorbophosphate. It's a little tongue twister. That's an excellent vitamin C that really helps to attract water into the skin. Glycerin attracts water in the skin. Honey attracts water into the skin. Aloe, hyaluronic acid attracts water into the skin. Look for serums that contain those kinds of ingredients and put those on first. Because the first thing that we want to do is get that water into the skin. One of my favorite tools, and it's usually that first tool that I start everybody on, is the My Skin Buddy. And the reason I do that is two. First of all, it helps with cleansing, so it's going to help with breaking that surface tension and getting water into the skin when you're cleansing. Number two is you put on those water-based serums, and then you use that My Skin Buddy, and that pushes those serums and those hydrating ingredients into the skin. So first off, we're cleansing, then we're putting on good water hydrating serums. Feed your skin, nourish your skin with those. Then the next thing that I want to address is oil. I take a deep breath because it's such a big topic. I have so many clients that come to me who, oils are so popular, right? For the last 5, maybe even 10 years, oils are so popular. Essential oils are so popular. They smell so good. They feel good. I have so many clients that come to me who just use oils on their skin. They use oils to cleanse, and then they put oils on the skin to nourish it, and they're putting oil on the skin to keep it hydrated. There are some problems with that. First of all, let's go back to the fact that your skin is mostly made up of water. Your skin needs water, and it needs to have ingredients that are carried in water and transfer into the skin through water. Then we can use some oil, but we need to choose the right kinds of oils. So sometimes I have clients that come to me and they've just been on this oil diet on their skin, and their skin is irritated. Their skin has premature sagging, their pores are drooping. A lot of times they have broken capillaries going on in the face because they're not feeding any water-based nutrients to the skin. They're just putting these oils on, and a lot of times there are many essential oils that are actually quite irritating. And probably if you're really into essential oils and you look at your essential oil books, you know some of these oils are toxic or they're just flat out irritating. And so they're telling you, right, mix them with other oils. Just dilute them, don't use them as strong. That's really good advice. Don't use them full strength. But be aware of that many of the essential oils are actually irritants and actually can disrupt your skin barrier and cause that irritation. And when you have that kind of irritation going on, you can also cause breakouts. So when you're using essential oils and then you're putting them into a carrier oil, unfortunately, most people are using carrier oils that are high in oleic acid, such as coconut oil. Let's get another one in my head right now. Coconut oil, argan oil, right? I mean, gosh, everybody loves argan oil, but you know what? All the nut oils, any nut oil is going to be problematic. They have a lot of oleic acid, so oleic acid irritates the skin barrier and really can contribute to acne, and they don't allow the skin to breathe. Coconut oil, so lovely. Everyone loves coconut oil, but guess what? I get so many acne clients every week because they're using coconut oil on their face, and it just causes terrible acne. And I see out there in the world, there's people on YouTube who will get on there and say, coconut oil cured my acne. I don't know how they did that. Every client that I've ever had that's come to me that uses coconut oil has terrible acne, and as soon as we get them off that coconut oil, their acne clears up. In fact, when I'm out and about in town and people ask me what I do, and I tell them that I'm a skincare coach and I work with aging and acne clients, a lot of times if they have breakouts, they'll ask me, I have breakouts, what should I do? And usually all I have to ask them is two things, and that is, are you using coconut oil on your face? Or are you taking a hair and nail vitamin that has biotin and iodine? And so single-handedly, I'm going out there in the world and I'm improving people's self-esteem and clearing up their acne just by telling them two things. No more coconut oil on your face and no more biotin or iodine in your body. And then they clear up. I, in particular, know of a gal that was at my juice shop where I like to go in and get juices. And I remember 2 weeks after giving her that advice, she gave me my next juice. She said, this one's on me. I'm buying it for you because my skin is now completely clear. I changed nothing that I put on it, but I eliminated the biotin and iodine, and they stopped using the coconut oil. So those are super important. So back to my topic here. We're on to oils. So when do we want to use oils? We want to use oil after we fed the skin the other nutrients we want to give it in a water-based formula. So your peptides, your antioxidants, your honey, your whatever other glycerin, all those things, you want to get those on first. Then you can use a moisturizer. I like to use a lightweight moisturizer and with a little bit of oil in it. Or if you prefer, you can even use an oil at that point. Personally, I like to put on my water-based serums, then I like to put on, well, you guys know me, I like to put on my Cavapla, then I put on my Sculpla. And in the winter months, how many of you know, if you've been using Cavapla and Sculpla for a while, you know that they're great through the summer, right? But when you head into those winter months, your Sculpla Promoter Repair Cell Cream is not enough moisture. So that's when I am actually layering on an extra moisturizer. So rather than go to a heavier, thicker, waxier cream, I just choose another moisturizer that's also really silky and lightweight, and I layer that on top of my Sculptra Promoter Repair Cell Cream. Then I put on my sunscreen, I put on my foundation, and then at the very end, that's when I'm grabbing the oils that I'm talking to you about. And when I'm looking for an oil, the oils that you want to look for are the seed oils. Seed oils are wonderful. I mean, think about bakuchiol seed, think about watermelon seed, sea buckthorn seed, black currant seed. All of those seed oils are amazing for the face. In fact, black currant seed oil we actually take internally because it's so high in omega fatty acids. We take that in the Hum red carpet supplement. But one of the seed oils that I really love comes from Sorella Apothecary. And so this is facial nectar, and I like light. So if you're really dry skin and you're really oil dry, you may like some of our little heavier oils. Like you may like Rhonda Allison's grapeseed oils. Those have a little heavier feel and they'll probably be fine for you. I prefer to layer light stuff. So I've got my Cavapla, my Sculptra Promoter Repair, and then I'm grabbing what I grab in this winter time. This year, I'm using the Reparative Moisture Cream from Is Clinical. So I have my layers on and my sunscreen and my foundation, and then I'm just taking this little bottle, and I love this. Sometimes I even do it partway through the day, and all I use is 1 drop, sometimes 2. I get it on my fingers, and then I'm just patting it onto my dry areas. Oh, how many of you get dry right under here? There's like no good blood circulation and stuff here. So this is an area we really massage when we're cleansing. And this is an area you have to put extra moisture. Right here under my nose, through the winter months, if I'm not careful, my little nasal flares will peel all winter long. So I give them a little boost of a little extra moisture. And I'm such a sniffer, right? I'm always, the staff, they always get a big laugh at me when they see me online with you guys sniffing my fingers. But I love this facial nectar. I don't like things that smell too strong. So facial nectar is really light in texture and very delicate in scent. And I put it on to finish, and then I just feel ready to go about my day. I love, love, love facial nectar. So that is my morning routine. But I want to get in there and I want to talk to you guys a bit more about that retinol, right? We talked about nighttime. We talked about retinol. So nighttime is when I am using the retinol. And when I use retinol, I'm doing a couple things. One is, depending on the retinol I'm using, I'm having a pre-application technique or protocol and an after protocol. So I'm using a pre-product, putting on my retinol, and then I'm using another product afterwards on top of it. So I'm kind of doing a sandwich with my retinol to make sure that I get the best possible results. Retinol can be irritating and it can be drying. So we want to be careful to really keep those water levels optimal in the skin when we're using retinol. I'm going to put a few of my favorite recipes down in the notes here, but let's just talk about it a little bit. So one of my popular protocols that I use is Rhonda Allison. I've been using Rhonda Allison products for 15 years and I can't get away from them. I love them. So the results, everything are just phenomenal with Rhonda Allison products. So my favorite, I have 2 favorites from Rhonda in her retinol lineup. One is Retinol Supreme and the other one is Salicylic Serum. Retinol Supreme is retinol mixed, is an L-retinol mixed with lactic acid, so it's a little more hydrating. And then Salicylic Serum is retinol mixed with salicylic acid, so it's a little better for those who have more oily skin and more enlarged pores. I always laugh about it. Salicylic serum is that one that everybody loves because it makes their skin look like Barbie skin. It just tightens up those pores, keeps them really clean, beautiful. Both products are wonderful. Salicylic is for that oily, large pored person. Retinol Supreme is more for that sensitive, normal combination, a little bit drier skin. But before you put those on, you've got to pre-treat the skin. So before you put those on, you're putting on Rhonda Allison's DNH Reversal Serum. This used to be called C-Gems, so you might know it by that name. Fabulous serum that actually takes away redness, inflammation, really calms the skin, hydrates the skin, super beautiful. This is that serum that when my daughter Celine was in high school, she used to go and steal it out of my bathroom because she is prone to redness and some blemishes. And she would just love to put on C-Gems, which is now DNH Reversal. She'd love to put that on because it immediately calmed the redness in her skin and it perfectly hydrated her more combination skin type. So always, before we put on that kind of a strong retinol serum, Retinol Supreme or Salicylic serum, you're gonna put on your DNH Reversal. Then you've got to top it. You've got to top it with a good cream. If you're using salicylic serum and you're more blemish prone, you're gonna wanna grab Face Reality's Cran Peptide and put that on top of it. Or you can grab one of Rhonda Allison's grapeseed serums. They're acne safe, and you can put a little bit of that oil on top of it. If you're using Retinol Supreme, you can use on top of it. You can put on Rhonda Allison's Elite EGF. Fabulous. It's got growth factors, peptides, it's got everything in it, and it's a balm. It's called a moisturizer, but really it's a balm. So Elite EGF on top of that, or Sorella Apothecary's The Balm. Those are our two balms. Either one of those are excellent on top of Retinol Supreme. Now, this year, that's what we've done years previous. Still great, still love it for the right person. Now, this year, we've been introduced to Emapel. So those people who are in that bracket, 45 to 65, I do have some clients in their 70s who are testing out Emapel, and they're being our guinea pigs for it to see if they get the same kind of results that people who are in that menopausal window of 45 to 65 are seeing. Now, because I started it at age 58 this year, and I've already been in menopause for 3 years, so Emapel told me, you're gonna have to use the serums, the products for, Celine's putting the name in there. When I give you the wrong names of Rhonda Allison, it's because I still haven't learned the new names. And so she's taking care of y'all in the comments. So I was on, what was I talking about? I know it's gonna come back to me. Can I rewind and see where I was at? Dang it. Okay, we were talking about retinol. Somebody could remind me if they want to. I'll open up my chat here. We were talking about retinols and, senior moment. Putting on balms on top of your retinol. Oh, Emapel. We were on Emapel. Thank you, Celine. Whew, that was close. So, Emapel, because I've been in menopause now for 3 years, they said that I should take, and Celine can correct me if I'm wrong, they said that before I would see results, it would take 2 months. I have to tell you, I saw results within 2 weeks. I'm continuing to use it. It's been now 2 months and I continue to keep seeing great results, so I'm loving it. And the reason I tell you this is because I have those clients who are in their 70s who also want to use this product, but there are no studies yet. I don't know how long to tell you to use it before you're gonna start seeing results. You know, they try to be really honest about that. They told me 2 months. If you are 70 and you've been out of menopause already for 15, 20 years, it's gonna take longer to see those results, and they won't be as dramatic probably of results. But I have several clients in their 70s who said, I don't care, I'm trying it. This sounds cool. And so they are trying it, and I'll keep you guys posted on how they do with it. So Emapel Night Cream has 2 forms of retinol in it. It's in a nice creamy formula, so you don't have to worry so much about dehydration with your retinol. I find that in the first 2 weeks, I still use Rhonda Allison's DNA Reversal Serum with it, because in those first 2 weeks of getting used to using retinol again, the skin is extra sensitive to it. And at first I got a few little red spots here and there. I had a little rough patch right here and then on my collarbones, and I realized, okay, I need to do my old protocol. I need to get out my DNA reversal first, put that on, and then I put on the Emapel night cream. Now, as winter is progressing, I'm noticing that I need to put something else on top of that. Even though it's already in a cream form, I need a little extra moisture to get me through with using retinol. So I'm doing a couple things. One is some nights I top it with the goat milk, especially if I have a little irritation going on. I'm grabbing Dr. Este's goat milk ampule, and I am using some of that ampule on top of it because that goat milk in there is just so soothing and healing and really helps when you're going through a retexturizing kind of change. That's why they use that ampule with their goat milk peel, because with a peel, you're retexturizing the skin. You're sloughing off that old dead skin and growing new, fresh, baby soft skin. And so that goat milk and that goat milk ampule and all the other ingredients really work to smooth and soothe you through that transition. So I often will put that on top of the Emapel. Did I bring my Emapel? No, I guess I didn't. I was gonna show you the bottle, but who needs that? So putting on my Emapel night cream, and then I'm putting on the goat milk ampule, or I'm grabbing my Sorella the balm. When I'm in a hurry at night and I don't want to do anything, I don't even want to put my retinol on, this is that product that I'll grab. I'll put on some of my Neogenesis recovery serum, right? Because recovery is my go-to that I have to have even on a desert island. Putting on my recovery serum, and then I'm plopping on the balm on top of it. The balm smells amazing. Now, the balm uses shea butter. So most shea butters on the market are not acne safe. It's a nut oil. However, shea butter is highly anti-inflammatory. That's why it works so well with retinol. And if the shea butter has been properly processed, so if it's highly refined, it will not cause acne or be an acne problem. So we've done a lot of work with the balm, with Sorella, a lot of research with their labs, and we have found that most people, probably 95% of people, are safe to use the balm and the shea butter that's in the balm. I even have clients who are older who get a hormonal breakout, and they use the balm to calm that breakout, and it's often gone the next day. So that works really well for those who just get that occasional blemish. Now, if you're full on acne prone, and we're still working on even getting you clear and maintaining clear skin, do not buy the balm. Your acne therapist will get mad at you. We are keeping you on such a strict regimen because we want to get you really clear. But for most other people, the balm will be fine for them, and it works great on top of retinols. So what about those people who want to retexturize, right? They want to get rid of that damaged skin from the winter, the summer, but they just cannot use retinol. They use it just once and poof, they're just a rashy mess or an itchy mess. So they're so extra sensitive to the retinol. That's when I pull out Is Clinical Youth Intensive Cream. I love this cream. Check it out on my website. It's just got a powerhouse of ingredients, and it does very similar things to retinol. When I have used that, I see those same kind of great, juicy, plump, smoothing benefits from that cream that I see when I'm using my retinol creams. So that's a little bit of an alternative for you. Now, we cannot leave the topic of hydration and dryness without talking about exfoliation, because dry skin, especially if you were an oil dry person, there's some people that are water dry, And most of us, even the oil dry people, in the summer months, we are all water dry because in the summertime, we just get dehydrated and we are water dry. So for those, I lost my train of thought again. I'm all over the place. Oh, talking about exfoliation. Okay, so sorry guys. I don't know why, but my brain is going off in little tangles today. So we're talking about exfoliation. So those, especially those people who are oil dry, they tend to, and you know, if I'm talking to you, you tend to get this hard, dry kind of coat on the skin, and it's often even a little bit flaky and peely, right? You've just got so much, it's often kind of the opposite of acne, but similar to acne in that you have so much cell renewal happening that you have constant skin sloughing off and constant dryness. So when you have that, you've got to be using good regular exfoliation. So many of the acid exfoliators can be too drying in the winter months. The exfoliators that I grab for the winter months and for those really dry skin, flaky dry skin people are our enzymes. So Rhonda Allison's Dermapeel, I'd love to mix that with a tangerine enzyme, mix those together, make a gommage, apply them to the face, or just Dermapeel by itself is so amazing. You apply it to dry skin, you use about a nickel size amount, you massage it in all over, and at first it feels really kind of thick, and then it begins to get really watery, and you just keep massaging away for probably about 5 minutes, and then it starts to get gritty as it starts to lift off those dead skin cells. I love that. Then when you rinse it off, your skin is so baby soft, those peely flakes are gone, and now you can put on your water hydrators, and then put on your moisturizers, and then pat on a little oil to seal it all in, and the skin feels great. So some of the enzymes that I love, Rhonda Allison's Dermapeel, I love her tangerine, papaya, I love Rhonda Allison's cherry jubilee enzyme. That's an excellent enzyme. Her pumpkin enzyme, which is not for rosacea prone skin, but for a little more oily or a little stronger skin, her pumpkin enzymes are amazing. There's another one, Neogenesis. Neogenesis has a pro-strength enzyme that we even use in our treatment rooms. And it can be a little spicy. So if you have rosacea, or you're prone to redness, or really prone to irritation, or even have some active irritation, don't choose the Neogenesis enzyme, choose Rhonda Allison's Dermapeel. But if you want to take it to that next level, then grab Neogenesis enzyme, wash your face so it's really nice and clean, right? Double cleanse, then pat it dry, put on that enzyme all over your face, your skin will be white. Then take 2 pieces of saran wrap. Some of you probably saw, we had a little thing going on Instagram that showed how to do this. You take a piece of saran wrap and lay it across underneath your nose so you can breathe through your nose. It's gonna go across here. You take another saran wrap piece and lay it across the top here, still leaving your nose so you can breathe. Then you take a really nice, hot, steamy, wet towel and you wrap it around there, or lay a washcloth right on there, and you do that 2 or 3 times. As the washcloth cools, you get it hot again, put it back on, and every time it gets warm and moist in there, you reactivate those enzymes. That's what I do in the treatment room, and I can just tell you, you can do it at home in the bathtub as well. Be your own esthetician, and those enzymes are fantastic for digesting away cellular debris, any kind of congestion hanging out in your pores, as well as removing that top layer of dry, dead, flaky skin cells that hangs out on the surface. So that, my friends, okay, covered all the skincare products, got those bases covered. We covered one tool. We talked about the My Skin Buddy. That's your basic tool that's gonna get you rehydrated, right? There's a few others I can talk to you about. Lemieux, right? Lemieux has this atomizer, uses oxygen to spray your serums. It comes with a glow activator and serum that you put in here. You spray this on and oh my goodness, what a glow you get. And it's so moisturizing. Sometimes I like to fill this up and keep it on my desk here at work, and I will turn it on and give myself a little bit of a mist partway through the day. Because that is really fabulous. So that would be another tool. Now's that time when I get to dive into your guys' messages. I'm gonna put on my readers so I can see and just see if you guys have any questions. So as I'm reading through, if you think of a question about dehydration or dryness, definitely pop your question in here. Some things I am going to be listing in the description. I'm going to list to a blog that we've written. So you can go to that blog and you can learn more, and it's going to give you more ideas on how to add moisture, water to your skin, namely, right, drinking more water. In these winter months, just have a warm cup of herbal tea next to you all the time. There are wonderful herbal teas that are good for the skin. Look for those. The other thing is a cool mist humidifier. I have a cool mist humidifier running all the time. Whether I'm in my office or whether I'm at home, it makes such a difference for me. I think I've talked to you guys a little bit about it, that I've had sinus issues going on for quite a while. The Mitama really took care of it, so I'm not having the infections going on anymore. But without the cool mist humidifier, things are getting really dry in my sinuses. So a humidifier going all the time in your home also makes a big difference. So you can go and learn more by reading that article. Now I'm going to check in with our questions here and just see if there is any questions that I can answer for people. Why is it not scrolling? Okay. Celine commenting. You can see all of Celine's great comments. Maybe there's not many questions here, which is fine. Just means I'll head off to lunch earlier. Yeah, not many questions. Okay, this is your last call. Putting out the last call for questions. The last question that I'm seeing on here was from Celine just commenting. So, oh, and she corrected me. She said, I was told that I had to use Emapel for 3 months rather than 6 weeks to see results because I was my age, 3 years past my official menopause time. So I have to tell you, 3 months, they're being so cautious with that. So maybe it might take some people 3 months, but I'm telling you right now, it took me 2 weeks to see a difference. At a month in, I had a little bit of sloughing going on here and there as those old damaged collagen depleted skin cells were coming off. And now it's just beautiful. And I'm excited. I feel like it keeps getting better. So that's the Emapel story. I see a question. It's not popping up on my computer. Let's see if I can catch it before it disappears. Oh, there it is. Your question made it. Sandes, hello. I haven't talked to you in so long. It's been a long time since we've done any coaching together. So she's asking, what is the best approach to choosing which brand of products to use? I love the brands you carry, but I don't know which to go with. For example, Sorella versus Rhonda Ellison. So Sandes, oftentimes that depends on what I'm seeing in your skin. And it often is determined by age as well. So I love Sorella, and I often pull Sorella for those probably under 55 or under 50. There are exceptions to that, but generally, Sandes says I'm 45. Generally, and for most people, if you do coaching with me, and you have, I'm pulling Rhonda Allison. Rhonda Allison reliably gets me the results I need for my clients and keeps them very happy. So, it all depends on what's going on in your skin. That's how I determine which brand that I choose for you. When you do a healthy aging consultation, I don't think, Sundays, that you've seen my new form. My new form does ask which brand you're interested in. It gives you an opportunity to list 2 different brands, but it also gives you an opportunity to say, Gina, pick the best brand for me and what I have going on. So that's my answer to you. How to choose the best brand is to pump Gina's brain, right? No, but there are just certain brands I gravitate toward depending on different ages and budgets, right? If I have a client of an aging client who's on a really strict budget, I'm going to be careful what I pull, right? I'm not going to pull Cavapla and Scopla, probably 2 of our most expensive serum and moisturizer, but I can still get really great results. I know I can still get really great results if I pull from Bion, right? So I can pull some Bion and work on getting them the results they're looking for with a lesser expensive outlay. That said, I'm still not going to get the same kind of results I'm getting from Cavapla and Scopla. That brand, just amazing. Korean skincare is just amazing. Okay, what moisturizer is best for vegan and aging? Celine, you're gonna have to pop in here and help me with this, because I can't tell you for sure without actually going on and going through the ingredients myself. I'm guessing that maybe Neogenesis Barrier Renewal. I'm guessing Rhonda Allison's amino peptide hydration, although there might not be good. I mean, with vegan, are you looking like no honey? No, depends on just how strict we're gonna get. I mean, hyaluronic acid, probably if you're vegan, you can't use hyaluronic acid. Many people don't know that, but hyaluronic acid is not vegan. So reach out to us on live chat. I can jump in there and help you there. And I need to dive into my website and poke around and look at things and check the ingredients and then tell you which one. But off the top of my head, I just can't tell you which one for vegan. So sorry about that. Sundays. Okay, Sunday says, I'll probably do a consultation then. Good idea. All right, you guys, I think I'm gonna go eat some lunch. And thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope that you found a little nugget of information in here that really helps you with your skin and keeping it moist and beautiful through the winter months. Have a great day. Take care.